Okay, we're live.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
See, Byline has more energy than me today, but oh my goodness.
Because I have morning thunder tea. This stuff doesn't actually work as well as advertised, but it's something.
I feel like you're just flaunting
Oh
it
my
now. It's just,
god.
no, I'm
Uh,
awake. I'm awake.
there. Okay. I have to remember to mute my window every time because I will hear the stream with a 5-second delay. Anyway, yes.
Well, good morning, Byline.
Good morning, Chipper.
What an early morning it is.
Yes. And we already have a viewer. Yay. Hello, viewer.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, neighbor.
Oh my gosh. Oh
How are you today?
my gosh.
Uh,
It makes me think of Mr. Roger when he talks to people. You just go in his living room and you
exactly.
sit down and it's just, hey,
Yeah.
like just the most chill atmosphere.
He was such a great soul.
Yes, he was.
Every story you hear about him is just better than the last.
I know.
He yeah, he loved people. He was great.
Well, and not to mention the fact that so when I was a kid, I did not want to watch that show. Like it was
Oh
boring,
really?
it wasn't cartoons, it wasn't stimulating.
Oh.
And then one day, like I don't know, out of the blue, it just kind of snapped and I was like, I love this show.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to watch it all the time. And it's kind of like the same thing with Teletubbies. I wanted to watch it
Mm-hmm.
all the time, and then one day it was like, no, no, I don't, I can't do it anymore. I know that their stomach lights up. I know there's a toaster that pops out food, and I know there's a vacuum cleaner. So no, I'm done.
I've seen every episode now.
This is it. This is the peak of it.
Oh god, have you seen the Game Grumps where they do the Teletubbies video game?
No,
It's the best. It's one of my favorites.
what is it like?
They go absolutely insane over just how maddening the game is.
Oh my gosh. Well, see, Game Grumps, like in general, is like hilarious because they
It
did
is.
the first and ever video I saw of theirs was
Right.
and was at what is it like 10 in the morning. I get text messages about Jesse Eisenhower, and I was like, it didn't make any sense.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Eisenberg, yeah, Eisenhower.
That's
Now it's
all.
Eisenhower.
That's one of the best.
Oh my gosh. But that's the
Repeat
thing
once,
is that
but yeah.
well, because I'm watching it and then I'm like, oh, and then I don't know, years later, one of my friends shows me the Zelda song from Ninja Sex Party, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
this song's awesome, I love it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that voice sounds really familiar. And da
Yeah.
da da.
Was it
Oh,
Ninja Sex Party or Star Bomb?
Starbomb, I'm sorry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it was
Okay, they're related. I mean, they are completely related, but like, yeah,
yeah.
it's early.
I know, I'm waking up, I promise. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, I was gonna
yes.
say is that that's like one of the childhood videos where it's just like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
hello. Good morning.
Oh God. Oh, so how do you guys like our uh, shiny new logo screen?
I know. Yeah, because okay. That was
That was a joint effort.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we because we've been doing this a couple times now and we're gonna if all else fails, we were gonna try to do uh what was it? If all else fails, we were just gonna keep this going
Hmm.
because it's something where we get to talk to you guys on a weekly basis and it's gonna be kind of nice to be
Hmm.
like, oh, well, here we go.
Hey. Yeah.
Um
It's your old pals.
you'll remember us. It's not hard.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
I love the little burned in Caroline KC logo you did down there.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah,
so
nice effect.
it's a funny story. While I was making
Hmm.
this picture took me actually like 2 days, 2 or 3 days to make
Hmm.
because apparently psi is not meant to be used for words. You're not supposed to be able to
Oh,
put yeah, it's not meant for that. It's meant for like original drawing creations where you actually start from scratch and you build from there. Or that's what I was told.
right.
And so I was like, okay, cool. Well, then um I started to like, no, I don't like that. I don't like being in a box. So I
Mhm.
took our chibis, I took our ponies, and I was like, okay. So I started moving them around. And I started putting them in different spots, and well, then that didn't work. And so when you sent me that picture long, long, long ago, um,
Mhm.
we I just used the basic background and I added words. Well, then I was like,
Mhm.
well, the words look kind of like dull. So then I was like, I'll do ribbons. Cool. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, no one's gonna know where this is from.
Mhm.
So I took the Carolina KC like logo we have and I put it in
Mhm.
the picture and it would not let me. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was on the wrong layer. I don't know. But it wouldn't let
Hmm.
me erase the white around Carolina KC. And so I was like,
Right.
you know what? I'll make it a negative. It's okay. They'll still get it. And it turned out to be this really cool, like just the black outline and it's got the wings, it's got all the details. It's just
Nice.
different colors. I know, right?
That's really
I,
awesome.
well, and I didn't even do it on purpose, so I cannot take the credit for the creativity
Well,
generated.
I mean, Bob, to quote another PBS staple, Bob Ross, there, what was it? I don't know the exact quote, but there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. There you go.
Good morning, Rocky Harmony.
Good morning.
I was gonna I was gonna say if we're gonna Bob Ross it, then oh yeah, I had plenty of happy moments with this one.
Mhm.
It was really interesting to um I was because that's the thing is that on Psy you can merge the layers and so I
Mhm.
don't know how many times I had to catch myself and be like don't merge the
Or
layers, don't merge the
don't
layers.
cross the screens.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, exactly. Well, that I
Um,
got so frustrated one day. I was just like, that's it, I'm gonna have to. What did I do? I think it was the first day I worked on it. I was like, I tried moving our pictures around to make it look like a comic book. I tried to make it look really different. And then I was like,
mhm.
wait a minute, like I have this original image. Why am I trying too hard? I'm working too hard for this. And then my roommate walks over and he goes, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm trying to make it look good. And he goes, it looks like you're 500 feet tall and you're making the tall pony look like they're 2 inches tall. And I was like, that's my ego. I'm so sorry. He starts laughing. He was like, that's just funny. Uh, but this one, and what I like too is that the artist that drew the ponies, like the ponies,
Mhm.
um, she's on our artist team, and so it's something
Yeah.
where you'll see her art style. I mean, she's in. I don't know. Can they see your circle logo? Or
Uh,
is that just us?
they can. Let me.
Well, I was gonna
Hold
say,
on.
you don't have to pull it up if you don't want to, but for those of you
Okay.
who've actually seen like our logos and stuff and been watching our page,
Well,
we
our
oh,
logo is on the
YouTube.
yeah, on the YouTube. So I
Oh
mean,
well,
it's
then
it's
yeah.
right there below the window.
Oh, well, then there you go. Oh, yeah, I was gonna look at it
Yeah.
too. But you can see that the icon picture that we have, that's in the same art style that these ponies are in. And we love all the artwork that she creates because it's something where it's the normal for Carolina KC. But when we get fan art coming in and
Mhm.
that goes everywhere, that's a whole nother uh, jar of fireflies. It was awesome.
I like that expression. I'll have to use that.
Thank you. I made it up right now.
Nice.
I meant to say jar of marmalade, but marmalade sounds boring. Fireflies it is. Mhm.
High five over the internet. Nah,
See, I need a soundboard. That would be a perfect soundboard moment.
that would just a high five slap.
No, because then we sound violent. What?
That's true. Oh
We're,
no. Oh god.
we can't. Didn't we like make this rule not to be
Uh,
violent?
That was not the intention.
For those of you watching, this is not our intention.
Right. That was a high five, not a slap.
Well, that's why we need to have two hands going at once, I guess. Because then it's like, well, like,
Yeah,
Chipper, it's okay. You only have two hands. Why don't you just hit them together? Because then it sounds like a slap. Common sense, then calm down. Oh, jeez. Well, I was gonna say, so today our stream might be a little shorter, but we wanted to talk to you guys about some really important stuff, so that way we could get the message out this week at an earlier hour. So today is Sunday, the 27th of August. I cannot believe August flew by so fast.
I know.
Yesterday was August 1st, I swear.
I know, right?
Well,
it's like a lot happened and not a lot happened at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so how do I put this? So our staff has been working like super duper hard, and we've been getting everybody in line. We've been getting everything set up, and we've hit a few potholes here and there. But overall, we've got almost everything like underway, and we haven't had any big major blip ups yet. So the nice thing is that we are going to we're going to talk about some stuff right now that's going to be like relevant for you guys, because for those of you who are listening now and those of you who are tuning in later, it's going to be something that's going to be kind of important if you're coming, or if you're going to be watching anything, if you're going to be watching us online or whatnot. One of our major things, and I'll let Byline take over this part, our Patreon.
Our Patreon, yeah. Yeah, we're going to have a thing with that very soon.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. But yes, it's a, how much can I say right now?
I would say that it's going to be kind of like a sneak peek into the con.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you will like it. You will like it a lot. So stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing that next month. And like right at the beginning of next month. But yeah, Patreon, that's going good. We have lots of prizes that we're getting together for that. I say a lot. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's one of the things I do on my podcast a lot, is edit up all the ums. I know exactly what the waveform of an looks like, so I can cut it before I hear it. Like for both Austin and I, it's gotten that bad.
No, it's okay.
But that's okay. That's okay. Dang it! There I go again. So, the Patreon. We don't have a lot of time. Okay.
It's okay. I was gonna say is that if need be, we're gonna post about it anyway too.
Oh yeah, we will. Yeah. So.
Patreon level.
Just a Patreon, yes. Just a quick skim through, so we don't take too much time on it. But yeah, it's a very important funding source right now. And no, I don't want to go to the general page. I want to go to our specific page.
I was gonna say, yeah.
No, go ahead. It's still loading.
That's okay. I was gonna say, while you're looking that up, I know that a few things I can say about that is the next thing that's gonna be like a really big thing for us, besides announcing like who's coming and whatnot. We have like what we were talking about before, we have a special little something coming up where you would be able to have a sneak peek into the con, and you could possibly win a few essential prizes, we should say, just for participating. Because our main thing is that we want you guys to get hyped up, and this is going to be our hype train.
Hype train.
I'm gonna draw a picture of a train now. Choo choo.
We bought too many games. Sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say too.
So I got up. So we have like, not gonna list all of them, but we have prizes for like for the general Patreon of $5 per month, which is your name in our event book, and nice little keepsake. I know I've kept all the event books from all the cons I've been to, which is exactly 5. And let's see, and they go all the way up to a White Dove plush of one of the main 6, your choice. So, and that's at the $1,000. And these are cumulative, so it's not like you have to donate that all at once. But like, well, it's 2 months now, so if you get it at this point, you'd have to donate $500 a month. But
well, I was gonna say that was something else I was gonna post about here in a minute. Because today's the 27th, we only have a month and a half left. So if you guys, if you want to donate to our Patreon, we would so much appreciate it. So much.
Every little bit helps. Yeah.
I
So
think isn't the minimum like $1 or $5?
The minimum for the reward is $5. But the minimum,
that's it?
Yeah. The minimum
okay.
in general is 1. Even if you can do that, that'd be awesome. But yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't know that it went that low. If some part of me thought there was a minimum, like for like the Patreon levels, I thought there was a minimum of like $20, but for $5, okay, that is easy.
Yeah, $5 get your name in the book. Like $20 gets you. Actually, $25 gets you a poster of our mascots, which is our. You can't see the full thing in our logo, but they're in our little thing. But the full version of that is basically what you get.
I think that's awesome.
It's pretty amazing. It has a cool background, and yeah. So, anyway, that's the Patreon. One thing we do need to talk about is we are getting panels together. Like we're working on panel placement. Like we're organizing with our guests to see like what panels they want to do, and we're so close to our goal of filling the panels, but we need workshops. We need workshops to move in. So that's a thing we need. So I don't think I can name any
not
examples
yet,
of what we have.
Because we got to get not yet, but being really like vague. The workshops that we do have, I'm super excited to see how they come out. Like, I want to be in the workshops.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll be working the con though. I want to be in White Doves. I know she's doing a workshop. I believe she is. But yeah, oh gosh. And later this week, we're going to. Actually, I can't say that yet because they have not responded yet. But
well, I was gonna.
KP will have panels.
Yes.
We're ironing those out with her, but it's gonna be great. She's been the most wonderful person. Let me tell you. Like,
oh my gosh,
she's been our cheerleader throughout this whole thing. Like our guest, I mean, we have had lots of other cheerleaders. We've had Alexia. We've had Coralfer. Keep pronouncing that wrong. Everyone who's given us art, but KP, man, like she has like helped us in any way she could, and that's amazing.
Yes. Oh, I love her so much.
I can't wait to meet her in person.
Oh, me neither. That poor girl. We're gonna sit there and she's gonna walk in and then she's gonna hear this inhuman noise and look around and be like, what the heck? And it's gonna be like, oh, that's Chipper.
No, coming from both of us.
That's true. Sorry. I guess I freaked out. I freaked out more on the video. You were more calm.
No, I will. Oh my God. Just be like, KP. Ah!
Well, and I was gonna say too. So, okay, but yeah. So for Patreon, so there's a lot of levels. It's all cumulative. The Patreon will come into play at the beginning of September, because we're going to be announcing a few things. I was gonna say too. So the nice thing that with our with the way that our not panel, but the way the development's going about how everything's coming together, it's become really cool to like look back and be like, oh, well, we used to have to do this every day, or we had to do this every week, and now we've gotten to no big deal. We got this. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, okay. So Patreon. So Patreon's cumulative. It's really cool. There's literally just a $5 minimum that you can donate, like $1. I don't know, like $5. You know what I mean. And then so we have the Patreon, and then we have our Facebook. So with our Facebook is that we recently kind of like remodeled a bit. We went through, we updated some stuff, and we updated our pictures. And they're awesome. We got because we've been getting a lot done lately, we've been trying to make sure to keep everyone updated on everything. Sadly, some people are not on the we're not. Some people we've like been talking to have been like, "Oh, I didn't know this happened." Crap. We promise. If we can post about it, we post about it.
Right.
But so the next thing too is that with the con, so there are like 3 major things that we're still like asking for and panning around for, because we want to make sure that everybody gets that
the
we get
most out of their experience.
right. So we went and we talked about it, and the number, like the top 3 things we're looking for is anybody who wants to volunteer or be on staff for the con. By all means, like talk to us, message us, try to, if you know anything, if you want to be part of anything, you just got to say, hey, this is going on and I want to help out. So that way we can be like, oh, you would be great for blah, blah, blah. And we can help get you set up. Because as of right now, we have quite a bit of staff, but we're still looking for more because we don't know what to expect just yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then staffing and volunteers. I think we are still looking for DJs. For those of you,
for a few, yeah. Dan is getting that together. Dan, okay. For those who have been to a few pony conventions now, Dan the Man Greaves is the guy who does the Tesla coil, and he's our AV guy, and he has his own little team that he's working with. So he's been awesome in all this.
dude, the Tesla coil alone is amazing, because I think it was when I went to Midwest, I just walked in and I saw it and I go, where what is that? And if you don't know what the Tesla coil is and you've never seen it before, you're not gonna miss it. It is right there in your face, and it's huge.
I think I remember when you came in on that.
Oh yeah. Because I'm just sitting there and you can hear it. Like it's not loud, but it's like hearing vibrations. Like it's for electric current. You can hear it, and then the closer you get, the louder it gets. Well, because Dan is amazing. He kind of like how do I put this? When he plays music on it, oh my gosh, like it doesn't sound like anything you've ever heard before. It just sounds like acoustics with how do I do this? Acoustics with electricity. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. Acoustics, but electric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Acoustic electric.
That's what we call it nowadays.
But yeah, electric. But yeah, he's on our staff. Of course, he's going to be doing the coil at Camelot KC. Yes, that's the name of our convention. So, yeah, and he's a very big guy. I have seen him develop that show since the beginning. Like I remember, like it was Burning Fest 14. They gave him too small of a space, and
Yeah.
yeah, it shorted out. Like he was supposed to do it on Saturday, and it shorted out. It was too close to like the controller.
Mm-hmm.
It shorted that out and stopped working.
Oh.
So he's like, "Oh gosh, let me just." Okay, so he made a deal to like do it the next day. Like he's like, okay, well, I found out what shorted out, and I got it running at half capacity. It's like half capacity is still pretty loud, uh, but they gave him a bigger space to work with, and he rocked it. And like Peter New was at the show, and Peter is one of those people that he'll just walk around a con. Like most guests don't, which I understand, but Peter just walks around the con. Like he has a picture of me and him in my costume. I'm in my costume. He's not. Uh, like there's a picture that exists on on one of his hard drives somewhere, and that just makes me happy. But anyway, he yeah, he's the greatest guy. No, he walked by, and unbeknownst to us, he like snapped a picture and tweeted about it. And I found that later, like at the charity auction. Me and Dan were sitting together, and I was like, Dan, look. And he just had the biggest grin on his face, and I'll never forget it. It was the best.
Well, and that's what
So
I think.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. That's what's so cool about this con is that we
Mhm.
are so kind of okay. This was the other thing. This is another thing I want to talk about because this will tie into space and everything.
Mhm.
Kind of like no. Whoop. So with the space that we have for our con, what we're doing is that we're working on making sure that everybody gets organized and everybody gets their own space. And so that way it's able that
Yes.
way whenever if you've ever been to a con and you know how like the vendor room is like jam packed and people are sharing half tables and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Well, I've seen firsthand that when you get jam packed, things get lost.
Mhm.
If you're during that like really busy time of here the doors open, everybody's rushing in, and vendors are trying to get everything set. Well, when they try to cross arms over it, something gets lost, something gets damaged.
Right.
So, what we were going to try to do, not try to do, we are doing. It's coming up in the next week or two that we're going to be sitting down and we're going to be making sure that everything is organized, everything has a spot. So,
Mhm.
with that being said, anybody who's anybody and hasn't submitted their papers or payment or anything for being sorry, I shouldn't say vendor, I should say artist. Anybody who
Yeah.
wants to be an artist and be part of the con and work in I think it's Artist Alley.
Uh, like
um
marketplace, I think is what we're calling it.
Marketplace. Anybody who wants to be part of the marketplace and you set up your table there, we're trying to make sure that
Mhm.
everybody gets their stuff in, because once you get everything in, 30 days before the con is when we're kind of like, okay guys, we're double
We're locked
checking.
in.
Yep,
Yeah.
here's our not guest list, but here's our list about who's coming, and can we count on you, and here's your table
Mhm.
space and everything. Because what we're trying to do now is that we just got confirmation from the hotel. Hey guys, we're gonna need to make sure that everything is in line and everybody. And how do I put this?
Mhm.
The hotel contacted us to confirm that everything was going smoothly, and
Mhm.
yeah, oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that anybody who's going to be part of it, come submit your stuff. Make sure, even if it's last minute, we want last minute, because like the cutoff point is, I think, is like September 5th,
15th
September
or
6th.
6th? Oh, okay. That soon?
It's well, yeah, because 30 days out. Excuse you, Charlie. That's my cup. Um, because oh no, I brought my big gallon of water thing, and she's just like, I like this. Is this mine now? No, it's not. But if you're going to be part of it and you're going to be in our marketplace, we can't wait to have you. We're so excited. We've got so many cool artists coming. Ah, so
We do.
excited.
We do.
But for those of you who haven't submitted yet or are still interested and haven't contacted us, by all means shoot us a message and we can tell you what you got to do, because there are some artists who have to go through a couple extra steps, but that's because of what they're bringing. It's not a problem at all.
Right,
It's just something that we want to make sure you're accommodated, that you're going to be able to get in okay, and we're going to have room for you. And that's why we want to make sure anybody who's anybody, submit your stuff so we can make sure we can proportion everything out, because we don't want to give, like, for instance, we don't want to give a whole table to someone who's only going to use half, and then there's just this empty space, and that could have been you if you wanted to bring your stuff there.
Yeah.
So there's that. So we're still looking for, if you want to work in the marketplace, by all means, message us. Check out our Facebook. Check out our website.
Yes. Yeah. Register there. That's mainly where things get filtered through, is the website. Like, I see, like, every time we get, like, somebody subscribes to our newsletter, or somebody, like, buys a ticket, or somebody, like, sends us a message, I get a little pop-up on my phone from Wix that says, hey, it's kind of nice. Like, I recommend
because it's immediate response.
Yeah.
The only reason, as far as I've come to learn, with how we've been operating our site and website, Facebook page and website, the only reason we don't answer you is that either it's in pending and we're looking for the answer for a day or two, or or somebody's at work and somebody just hasn't had a chance to check it yet. Like, we have pretty fast response time. We're not. It's not something where it's just like, oh, I'll get to it. It's, hey, what do you need? Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. Because I think it was yesterday too, or I think it was Thursday morning. I got a message, or no, Thursday night at like almost midnight. I got a message from one of the people who are going to be setting up at our con, and I didn't see it. Well, then I went to work, and it was like around noon when I checked my phone, like checked it for everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's almost been it's been half a day. Like, I answered him. And then it was like, oh, well, wait, there's one more thing. And it was a constant back and forth, but I would have rather had a back and forth than, nothing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like the worst feeling in the world to be ignored by, like, something you want to go do. Like, I can tell you right now, there was a, they don't exist anymore, but there was a furry group. It was really, really small, and it was around Kansas City, and the person who was running it had no idea what they were doing. Absolutely none. Because back when I started like getting into furries and doing stuff like that, I was like, oh my gosh, every corner I turned, I wanted to, like, oh, I joined this group. And then next thing I know, like 9 out of 10 of those groups weren't active anymore, and it was just go like our page. But the one group that I was a part of that would message and post and plan events, that was amazing, because then I could keep up on stuff, and I felt like, hey, you know what? You're not ignoring the people who are following your page. You're taking care of it. And that's what I want people to feel like when they come to our page. Like, this is how we run our stuff. We're going to be on top of it. Don't worry. We're if not right now, then at least in an hour or so we'll get with you.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, that was my short ramble box. I was gonna say, so I think we talked about Patreon, we talked about DJs, we talked about the Tesla coil. Big thing. Workshops. So
workshops, yes.
So that's like our number one concern right now. We're still looking for everything else we talked about and still want you to like come to the Patreon and check it out. But one of the number one things is that our workshops, we need more ideas, because what's going to happen is we can only do so much. We have to finish boxing everybody into their areas. But the problem is that if you have an idea for a workshop and haven't said anything yet, oh my gosh, like go say something, because we have to finish the workshops like before we even finish the schedule. So we want all the ideas so we can be like, hey, throw it in the pot and be like, do you want to do this? Sure. And it'll be awesome.
We want all the ideas.
we want to do all the things.
All the things. Exactly.
Oh, I would love to do all the things. All the things is the best things.
Yes. I had 8 arms, so I could do all the things all the time. But that would also be very cumbersome, so maybe not.
No, it's, I'd rather have options than, only this.
Right. Exactly.
I've had that. I've actually, okay, So there was this, I don't remember when it was. I think I was in high school, and there was this con. There was a one-day con thing, and it was for sci-fi people, but they didn't get any guests or anything, and they didn't promote themselves, and they didn't tell anybody until the day of. And I was like, I was at work, and I was like, if I would have known, I would have gone, because they were doing stuff on like comic books and stuff, and I was like, okay, so this is my jam, and I'm not there. How did I not know? And so I went to their page. They didn't post. They didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, understandably, I didn't miss it. It's just that no one said anything.
If you don't do what we're doing right now, nobody's gonna come.
Yeah.
Like, if you build it, they will come. Hi, Dino.
Hi, Dino. I'm sorry, you're not a dog. I'm sorry. Hi, Dino.
Hello, Dino from the Flintstones.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Oh, good gosh. Okay, so we talked about, I think we talked about a majority of the stuff. I think there's a couple more things, and then we'll have to start to wrap up there, dear Byline.
Yes. One thing I do want to, let me switch the picture real quick. Just some fun. I've been catching up on the show because I hate to admit I'm woefully behind. Not that woefully, but I'm in the middle of season 6. To the end of season 6 now. But so I've been watching. Yay!
Hey, Byline, I was going to tell you. Do you know how much I love pony ears? I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, pony ears are the best, aren't they? Okay, so yeah. Speaking of pony ears, here are 2 sets of them right now. Yay, on the screen. So yeah, I've been catching up. I think the last one I left off, sadly, was Applejack's Day Off, which I really liked. I got to tell Jim Miller in person that I really liked it. He's like, good, tell Twitter that. And it's like, oh, he's like, that's okay, it's not for everybody. Like, well, I think it was a good lesson. So anyway, so season 6 kept going, and I just kind of fell behind with like everything that was going on in my life. So I am doing a massive catch-up. So what you see there is Chipper in the process of drawing your OC. Oh, nice. Yay. So, excuse me. So, yes, what you see there is Rainbow Dash and Quibble Pants. I have heard a lot about the Patton Oswalt episode, and because I love Patton Oswalt so much, I've listened to all of his stand-up albums so many times you wouldn't believe. I have almost all of his like routines almost just memorized. It's great. But anyway, I was very excited to hear like his latest stand-up on like his Netflix special. He talks about My Little Pony. It's really funny. He's like, "Oh, my daughter's really into My Little Pony. It's not my thing, but the plot is that and he goes on to describe the plot in great detail, and then and he's like, "Oh, but that's my daughter's thing. It's not mine." Shortly after that.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi, Dino. I can't be as loud as I want to be right now because it's so early in the morning. But if I could right now, I'd be screaming because, yeah, I'm gonna scream because that's flashback to drawing Chipper. That's amazing. But actually, I was going to go along with what you were saying. The way that Patton Oswalt. So I heard you say that, and I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute, the blue octopus from the kids like Nickelodeon show, and I'm like, yeah, what? Oswald. Oh no.
Oh.
Don't Google that. Don't Google that and search of Patton. No.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for that.
That's it. Yeah. No. The deal is that Patton Oswalt is the comedian. Oswald is a blue octopus that was from the older Nickelodeon, like early morning cartoons on Saturday. Right. And if you switch those up, don't switch those up. That's not the same thing.
Right. Yes, but no, Patton Oswalt plays a huge fan of like they go to Rainbow Dash goes to a convention for Daring Do.
Oh my gosh!
God,
wait,
you can tell that. Yeah,
sorry, no.
you
I was
can
going to tell you
tell.
it's not.
Mhm.
Go, Byline, go.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying you can tell that they're getting out some of their aggression with fans on this, which I just think is hilarious. But yeah, Patton Oswalt plays a pony that like he loves Daring Do. She loves Daring Do.
No.
And then when she tries to talk about like everything past the third book, he's like, "Oh no, those don't exist to me because they're terrible." And Rainbow's like, "You're crazy," and it kind of goes from there.
Well, and that's the other thing too.
Bless you. That was an adorable sneeze.
That's it's one of option of two. It's either this little kitten sneeze or what just came out of my mouth. But that's one of the things is that we were actually talking about it earlier this week. The last episode I've seen is Applejack's Day Off, and I kind of freaked out because that episode, I actually like that episode because that's what I can relate to Applejack because it took me a while, but one of my friends, for some reason, the way like I get ready for work and everything, and they're like, "Why do you go and why do you do so many extra steps?" And I was like, "What?" And they go, "Yeah, you don't have to do this, and this," and they just like cut across, and they're like, "If you just do this," and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" They're like, "Why have you been doing so much?" And I go, "Because when I was younger, I was told to do it that way, and I never changed it. So now I'm not doing extra steps anymore. So thank goodness."
Yeah. Yeah, that really that hits home.
Well, because and it hurts too because there are some people too that switching gears. I'm talking about when people sit there and be like, "Oh, that's dead to me. It's not real." Okay, well, good for you. But the rest of us are going to be accepting of everything except everything.
Yeah.
Actually, no exceptions. We're going to be accepting that this is what happens. Like, I'll be honest right now. In the Harry Potter series, I think my least favorite book is Prisoner of Azkaban because it's
really?
I've seen the movie. Oh, I don't know how many times because it's been on reruns on TV. If I'm just going down the line of movies and I'm watching them, and it's just like, oh, great, Prisoner of Azkaban, and it's just like, okay. So for me, it's something where I still love that movie. I love the book. I love the book more because the book will tell you the backstory and stuff. But when it comes to like, what's your least favorite Harry Potter movie? At least I know what it is, but I acknowledge that it's there, and I know that could be somebody else's favorite book. So I'm not bashing it. I'm just it's not my favorite.
That's really funny because Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite book and movie. Well, besides 7.
And there we go, and we can see how the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel says it's like saying the first 3 movies don't exist. It's like, no, they're hard canon. Like one of the things that I loved about the 2 new ones is, they put some stuff in there. It's like, no, you guys, the prequels existed, so stop.
Well, and here's my other thing too to go with it is that people who sit there and I've actually okay. I'm guilty of this and I'm gonna own up to it right now. There was this one girl I knew and she was like the biggest pony fan. She watched every movie and I was like, oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about. And then it came to Harry Potter. I know I keep coming back to Harry Potter, but this is my relatable story. And I sat there, never read any of the books, never watched any of the movies, and just flat out hated Harry Potter. Not the whole story, but she hated Harry. And so I was like,
just
okay.
the character?
Well, because she called him she was like whiny and stuff. And I was like, wow, okay. Well, I went to Florida with this person and we went to Universal Studios where Harry Potter was. And I got upset because we walked through, because you can actually go through Diagon Alley, or to get to Diagon Alley, there's a secret entrance. And when you go through the entrance, she got so, let me back up. She had never seen any of the movies or books and she hated Harry and I didn't understand it. Well, the next thing I know, on the flight there, she was watching
one of the movies?
No. The newest with Newt.
Newt.
Newt. The
Oh,
newest.
Fantastic Beasts.
Yes, she was watching Fantastic Beasts, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love this movie."
Uh-huh.
Really? And she was like, "Yeah, I love it." And I was like, I got upset because I was like, "Do you understand how many years, how long I've been a fan, and suddenly you jump on board, and how convenient we're going to Universal Studios."
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Well, no, I love it." She went and got a wand. She went and did everything, and I got upset because I was like,
Wow.
"Dude, you were never a fan. Like you hated Harry Potter." And she was like, No, not anymore."
Oh.
Are you serious? And I just got, and so I'm guilty of this. I can understand how people can think like this because I used
Mm-hmm.
to. And so we got back to the hotel room one day,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't say anything to her. I didn't mention it. We got back to the hotel room, and she's like, "I'm such a fan. I'm such a fan." And in my head, I'm going, "No, you're not. You don't do what I do." But then I took a step back, and I realized,
Right.
you know what? It's you don't have to be hardcore, and you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be intense all the time. And so
Exactly.
I went from being like, "Are you serious? Like this, you're not a fan. Like you don't have." I have the book collection. I have the movies. I have all
Mm-hmm.
of that, and now I have a wand, and like I feel like my life is complete. But that's what it took for me as a fan to take care of it. Like my fandom and my nerd girling, and it got me really excited. Well, oh my God, how lucky would I have been when I was like getting into Harry Potter that I got to go to Harry Potter World? I would have like fainted. But that was the other thing too, is that the first day we went there, we walked through the entrance and she cried because she was so happy. And I was
Oh.
just looking at her going, "Are you kidding me? Like this is not real." But again, that day or the next day, I took a step back and I was like, "You know what? I'm not this pretentious person. I'm not all that. Just because I've been in the fandom longer and I've loved it longer doesn't make me any better." And so
Right.
it's something where when I hear you talk about that pony where it's just like the movies are dead to me,
Mm-hmm.
I've fan shamed before, and
Mm-hmm.
it was very mean of me, and I know it was the wrong thing to do. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that when you're such a hardcore fan about something and you see somebody else come in and bash it and be mean about it, it's like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
if you like it, you like it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And some people like, certain aspects of things, they like it for like my sister, my sister and brother-in-law really love the Marvel movies, and they're not into the comics. I'm not into the comics. I only know it through the movies, but it's like that's okay. We're still Marvel fans because that's a Marvel product, and that's all it takes, really. And like my sister is in it for Robert Downey Jr., which is also great. you know, Wherever gets you in, that's what you're in. I mean, yeah. So, a quick question that I want to address from the chat before we go. So we are running short on time. Dino says, "What anime do you guys like to watch?" Hello? Did I lose you?
Actually, I was gonna say, did you see what Dino asked us?
What?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, for Dino, sorry, my phone was cutting out.
Okay.
So for Dino's question, I was actually gonna say, she goes, what anime do you guys like to watch? That's a
Mm-hmm.
loaded question.
It is. I will admit that I haven't really watched much of like the everything I've watched is like the popular stuff.
Right. Well, and
But
I was gonna say, because like there's obviously, everyone knows Dragon Ball Z, everybody knows Naruto,
oh yeah.
but there's other anime out there where it's just like, wow, have you heard of this one? It's like Space Pirates, and it's like, no, I haven't. Well, come on in, let me show you.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I
my
would have
favorite I think my favorite's sorry, Cowboy Bebop. That's the only anime that I like own proper.
to. Well, and you know what? That's another thing too, is that I like it. I do not love it because it's something where I've watched enough of it where I got too used
Right.
to the newer animation movies.
Mm-hmm.
or like I
can
was
understand that.
the first anime I ever watched was Inuyasha, and then I watched Spirited Away, and then I had that kind of standard, and I was like, oh no.
I love Spirited Away so much.
Oh
That's
my
my
gosh.
favorite.
Well, and I was gonna
My
say
favorite
too,
Ghibli.
because you said you haven't watched, you don't like it, or you just haven't watched a lot of it yet.
Oh, what anime in
Yeah.
general? Oh, no, I love anime. I just haven't watched like a lot. It feels like there's a lot out there. Like whenever I like an anime fan says, "Hey, have you seen this anime?" I'm like, I have never heard of that in my life, but it sounds amazing. Like that happens surprisingly often, and so I just feel like I've only seen like the popular stuff, like Full Metal Alchemist. When I discovered Fooly Cooly, my mind exploded because such a
Well, and
weird. Yeah.
well, I was gonna say is that's not uncommon though for anybody else. I mean, unless you're like a super like anime every night kind of thing, it's still something where you're like, oh, I've never heard of this, and then you give it a chance, and it's like, oh dear God, like what you did with Fooly Cooly.
Yeah.
And I was gonna
Okay,
say,
I don't feel so bad now.
no, it's not just you. I'm gonna tell you right now, the kind of friends that I have, and you have too. I was watching blah 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 last night. What's that? You've never heard of blah blah blah? Well, no. So tell me about it.
Right.
But I was gonna say is that kind of contrary to how much you've seen, I've seen not much more, but I've seen enough to know that I know what the genres are, and and I've watched enough of it to understand the culture. Like, yeah, I've watched enough of it to understand the culture of it. So for me, it's something where when I watch anime, I'm a history person. So for me, it's something where what era did this take place in? What year is it supposed to be in? Like, again,
Nice.
kind of like flashback to Inuyasha. When I started watching it, I didn't understand the culture at all. So I was more caught up in the bad boy girl trying to do her job and help collect Shiko and Jules shards. And then Inuyasha's just there to protect her. Well, the more I watched it and the more I understood it, the more I got into, oh, there's like the feudal era where they were like farming and stuff, and it was really basic, and the reason the farms look like this and blah blah blah. And then they jumped to Kagome's like era, and it was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to contrast eras and see how simple it was. Why when Kagome goes back and forth, it's so hard for her. But anyway, Inuyasha was my first one, and then I started watching Studio. I know that people are going to correct me. It's either Ghibli or Gilby.
I pronounce it Ghibli. I don't know what the actual correct pronunciation is.
I'm sure it's on a video somewhere that someone was like, "Look, people, this is how we say it."
But God, I love Studio Ghibli so much.
I know. Well, and you know what? I finally saw. So there's. Well, actually, hold on. We're running out of time, so we're gonna mainstream it. I was gonna say. So anyway, with anime and such, it's really fun to explore new ones, especially if you've never seen it. And someone is like, "Here it is," it's just like, well, okay, I'll take it.
Oh God, yes. But yeah, Studio Ghibli. As far as that goes, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. I read the book for Howl's Moving Castle recently. It's also great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And let's see. Yeah, Whisper of the Heart is really great. Cat Returns.
Love that one.
For that. Yeah. Like where they actually tell the story of the little cat figurine or something like that. Anyway, so Ponyo, great. All of them, great.
I can't stop watching Ponyo. I love that one now.
It's much quoted at My Family Gets Together every Sunday. Ham is very quoted every time we have it.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, Mr. Byline, anything else we'd like to give a shout out today?
New Pony episodes are great. I can't wait till I reach season 7. I've heard amazing things. I want to watch the Perfect Pair episode. Oh yeah, and KP released her review of Perfect Pair. And if you skip to 3 minutes 33 seconds, we are mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my
Very
God.
briefly,
Okay.
but we are mentioned.
Well, now I know what I'm doing after work.
Yeah. If you don't want spoilers for the episode, skip directly to like 3:25 or something like that. It'll be a brief mention, then you can turn off and go, yeah, we made our mark.
Well, that's amazing. So yeah, go check that out because I want to see that.
Yeah. So, anyway, every time we say goodbye, I die.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to do Titanic. It's not working very well. I'm not kidding. Okay, well, thank you, Byline. That was total show upness. Thanks, y'all. I'm sitting here trying to sing, and it's like, let me whistle it for you. Like, really? Can't feel but a bit overdone. But no. Okay, not in a bad way. I can't play that off.
No,
I
I
was
understand.
I'm so sorry.
Understand. No, but yes, I know what you're going for, and I love it.
All right, well, this has been Sunday Coffee with Chipper and Byline. We will be back next week. This was a bit of a short one today just because of timing and whatnot. But, early in the morning. Early in the morning.
Yes, early. This is why we call it Coffee with.
Wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, we both woke up at about the same time. It's like, I'm waking up. Me too. Oh.
Aw. Okay, bye, Dino.
Oh. Thanks for joining us, and thank you, Rocky, for also joining us, and thank you, all our beautiful viewers, for also joining us.
Okay. Well, we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.